Title 1. Introduction. When you think of extinct animals, what comes to your mind? Dinosaurs? Ancient birds? No. Today I'll show you the most unusual and now non-existent dog breeds that were recently loved by humans and are now simply extinct. Some just went out of fashion. You will see the most impressive species from pocket-sized dogs to tailed monsters bred for bull baiting. And at the end, there will be an ancient relative of the fierce Chihuahua who could climb trees and was the best friend of the Maya Indians. I'll start with the story of a breed that became a victim of unsuccessful breeding. Toy bulldogs were adorable and they looked just charming, but unfortunately their fate was not very lucky. They turned out to be completely unsuitable for life due to errors in their breeding. Initially, these dogs were the result of experiments with bulldogs that showed signs of dwarfism. Attempts were made to create an amazing breed based on their cute appearance. However, the offspring of these dogs were full of diseases and physical problems, making their lives difficult. Unsuccessful attempts to grow a healthy population led to the forced termination of the project. For some time later, breeders tried to revive this breed by crossing French bulldogs with pugs, but unfortunately these efforts did not yield the expected results. Creating a healthy and stable line of these dogs turned out to be a task beyond even the most experienced and persistent breeders. But if this case is related to unsuccessful breeding, the next breed simply died out due to war. In 1815, a new dog breed appeared that captivated the world's attention. It was named Braque Dupuy and was bred by a famous French landowner who decided to name it after himself. How original. Surprisingly, despite its height, it was lightweight. Braque Dupuys were the result of crossing with greyhound dogs. The breed turned out to be very versatile. These dogs had endurance and remarkable speed, outperforming others in their niche. However, by the mid-20th century, they somehow disappeared. During World War II, the number of old dogs sharply decreased. Hunger, bombings, you understand. And our Braques were not widely spread around the world. And because there were similar dogs, no one bothered to maintain their population. Thus, the original representatives of the breed disappeared, but their genetic legacy lives in some other French dog breeds. And now, look at this monster. This is an ancient Russian dog breed whose history dates back to the 15th century. Medelyans were truly giants. They were used for bear baiting and were extremely popular in the kennels of nobles. Getting such a dog was a real reward, as their price was extremely high. They were given as a gesture of gratitude and generosity, and also sent abroad as a gift. Medelyans were intelligent and brave dogs, extremely attached to family members. However, by the end of the 19th century, a decision was made to ban bear hunting, which reduced the demand for this breed. Within a few decades, they almost completely disappeared. Medelyans were resilient and calm. Their bravery was combined with a balanced character. However, their fate, due to the impressive size and rarity, was sad. They were unimaginably expensive for an ordinary yard, and without bears, they were meaningless, as cruel as it sounds. At the very end of the 19th century, the Paisley Terrier breed appeared, alongside another popular toy dog of that time, the English Toy Terrier. These dogs bred in England based on the Skye Terrier breed were much smaller in size compared to their ancestors and had longer and silkier fur. Unlike their predecessors, Paisley Terriers were more show dogs and decorative pets. They almost completely lost their working functions of traditional terriers, as they were not suitable for hunting due to their size and endurance. Over time, in the 20th century, this breed smoothly transformed into what we now know as the Yorkshire Terrier, a breed that became incredibly popular thanks to its charm, small size, and elegance. It turns out that this is not so much extinction, but rather some kind of rebirth. The next breed was less fortunate, though. Alpine Mastiffs first appeared in the Alps, and they became the ancestors of the now popular St. Bernards. True beauty, right? These dogs were true heroes in mountainous areas. They rescued people in the mountains and faithfully served as guardians of their homes. Thick, long fur combined with a massive physique and impressive strength. Alpine Mastiffs were truly gigantic in size, along with Tibetan Mastiffs and Caucasian Shepherd dogs. These dogs were distinguished not only by their power, but also by their loyalty, intelligence, and unique ability to serve humans in the most difficult conditions. Unfortunately, in the 19th century, this wonderful breed was almost completely wiped out by an unknown disease. Scientists have not yet figured out what it was. I really feel sorry for these beauties. But let's move on to the next breed. Bull-and-Terriers are an incredible dog breed that first appeared in England in the 1820s. These dogs were the result of careful breeding of pure bulldogs with various types of terriers. As a result, Bull-and-Terriers inherited the best of both breeds, incredible stamina and intelligence, characteristic of the best hunting dogs. Today's varieties of dogs such as the American Staffordshire Terrier, American Pit Bull Terrier, Staffordshire Bull Terrier, and English Bull Terrier are direct descendants of the Bull-and-Terriers. These breeds retain the legacy and qualities of their predecessors, remaining popular and recognizable among dog enthusiasts worldwide. And as a result, thanks to the widespread distribution of the following derivative breeds, the original Bull-and-Terriers faded into oblivion. The next dog is a pure tool in the hands of humans, even sad from this story. Turnspit dogs were especially popular starting from the 16th century. They inherited their name from the functions for which they were bred. Their task was to rotate the spit with meat, endlessly running a wheel like a hamster. This small dog could work for days, providing lords with delicious and evenly roasted meat. John Keyes, in his treatise on English dogs, asserts that common mongrels were used for this task. However, later, a special breed of Turnspit dogs was developed, low, hardy dogs resembling modern Jack Russell Terriers. In the 19th century, not only this breed disappeared, but also the need for the classic spit. Changes in cooking processes and the cessation of using outdated mechanisms in kitchens led to these special dogs simply turning into ordinary mongrels. They were not bred separately and just mixed with the street crowd. The English White Terrier, as a breed, wonderfully demonstrated diversity in its appearance. The dogs could have various color variants, differing as colored spots on the head, ears, or tail area, as well as a solid coat and show representatives. Interestingly, the working English White Terriers, which could have colored markings, had a more muscular physique and often had semi-erect ears. In contrast, show dogs had their ears trimmed for elegance, making their appearance more refined and light. Indeed, experts and breeders of both varieties of the breed preferred dogs with good pigmentation of the nose, eyelids and lips, avoiding animals with health and temperament problems associated with insufficient skin pigmentation. Despite their uniqueness and diversity, English White Terriers could not maintain their presence in the dog world. The rapid surge of interest in them at shows quickly faded, and the breed was simply not further developed. The remaining dogs spread among hunting hands. By the end of the 19th century, their numbers had significantly decreased, virtually depriving the breed of the possibility of existence. The last records of births of English White Terrier litters date back to the end of the 19th and the early 20th centuries, and the well-known breeder Robert Leighton already in the 1920s declared their complete disappearance. And this dog, even by its appearance, instills fear. The Cordoba Fighting breed was originally created in Argentina exclusively for guarding and participating in dogfights. The breed emerged through the crossbreeding of bulldogs, bull terriers, boxers, and mastiffs. I think it's unnecessary to explain that all these dogs are characterized by aggression, strength, and complete fearlessness. Throughout its existence, the Cordoba Fighting Dog never lost in fights with representatives of other breeds. However, their story ended despite the effective result of breeding. It turned out that in the early 20th century, dog fighting was completely banned in Argentina. This breed, due to its aggressive nature, could not adapt to life in domestic conditions as a regular pet. But the blood of the Cordoba Fighting Dog is preserved in Argentine dogos. The creator of this breed eliminated the aggressive behavior of the ancestors, but retained their endurance, beauty, and fearlessness. The Norfolk Spaniel was quite a popular dog breed. Beauty's right. These dogs were versatile. They were loyal companions, had endurance, and a very friendly character. However, due to widespread distribution, Norfolk Spaniel simply depreciated as a breed. This led to the fact that in 1902, this variety was almost entirely absorbed by Springer Spaniels and then officially ceased to exist. This process of merging and absorption inevitably occurs in the history of dog breeds due to various factors, including changing tastes and needs, as well as the desire to improve certain characteristics and qualities of the original breed. First people like one type of ears, then another, and so dogs disappear. The story of the St. John's Water Dog from Newfoundland is quite interesting and instructive. In 1885, the government of Newfoundland introduced a high tax on dogs not used for herding or guarding livestock. A higher tax was levied on female dogs, leading people to avoid paying it as they produced litters of 5 to 10 puppies. As a result, farmers and shepherds simply drowned the dogs to avoid the tax, keeping only 1 to 2 males. It's important to note that some of these animals were sold to Great Britain, where they later participated in the breeding of Labrador retrievers, which are now so popular. By the early 20th century, St. John's dogs were almost extinct, with only a few individuals in small fishing villages. The story of Farley Mowat in 1972 is notable. He attempted to preserve the breed by mating his purebred dog Albert with a Labrador female. As a result, 4 puppies were born, but they didn't resemble the St. John's breed. Therefore, Albert is considered the last representative of this breed. Alan dogs, a breed that still exists but is beyond saving. Many modern dog breeds are considered direct descendants of the Alanos. Originally, they resembled modern short-haired Caucasian shepherds, with which they were distantly related. These were fairly large dogs with a characteristic lean physique. The breed typically had a light and solid-colored coat, but spotted variations were also present. They were named after the Iranian nomadic tribes which have dissolved in the modern world. Alanos were known as warriors, shepherds, and skilled horse breeders. They needed corresponding dogs. Today, these dogs have almost disappeared, with little information remaining. Due to progress and changes in the lifestyle of nomads, there are almost no dogs left. Moscow divers, along with black terriers and Moscow guard dogs, were bred after World War II exclusively for service purposes. The military and law enforcement agencies required large, strong animals with high guarding qualities and thick fur, capable of working in various temperature conditions. Dogs brought from Germany and remnants of domestic dogs that survived the war were used for breeding this breed. German and Caucasian shepherds, as well as the Newfoundland, became the ancestors of the Moscow divers. Although the new breed resembled the Newfoundland, it had a more aggressive temperament. However, it was later found that Moscow divers were practically useless. They could not be used for water rescues as they often attacked the drowning person. Great helpers. As guards, black terriers looked more advantageous. Eventually, the breed was no longer developed and the project was terminated. Bullenbeissers or Bullbeissers represent an ancient breed of baiting dogs. Their origin is linked to Assyrian war dogs brought to the territory of Gauls and Saxons by the Phoenicians. These dogs quickly became in demand in these cultures due to the constant need for baiting forest bison. Bullenbeissers were known as enduring strong dogs with short fur and an elongated muzzle, but by the beginning of the 18th century, the breed's popularity began to wane. The main reason was the reduction in bison population and, as a result, the lack of need for such dogs. However, even before their complete extinction, Bullenbeissers became ancestors of modern boxers, inheriting their unshakable character. And as promised at the beginning, here is the ancestor of the modern monster Chihuahua. Techichis are one of the oldest dog breeds. They accompanied the Aztecs, Toltecs, and Maya since the 14th century BCE. They resembled modern Chihuahuas in size and appearance, and had a slightly elongated coat. Additionally, they were quite agile, as ancient petroglyphs show. Techichis could easily move through trees. These dogs were allowed to be kept only by nobility, rulers, and priests. They played various roles, used in ritual sacrifices, participated in burials, helped in hunting, and served as domestic pets. The breed was wiped out by Spanish conquerors, who thoroughly destroyed the culture of the local people, including their beloved dogs. As you can see, not all dogs are four-legged friends. Some use them as a tool, which they simply discard when there is no need for it. Thank you for watching.